Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is CJ and I post beauty related content here on YouTube, which is what you are so kindly watching right now. So today is going to be a bit of a weird video, just like it has been a couple of weird days here in Louisiana, which is where I live. It has been snowing or sleeting, southern snow. It's not sticking to the ground, it's not doing anything, but it is snow. In our state, as well as Texas, which I think has it much worse. They were like colder than Alaska yesterday. So all the South, we're just like, what the hell is this? I don't know why I'm saying this. I just thought it was interesting to say. But anyway, so because of the weird weather, I am also filming a weird video today. Also because I feel like being a bit of a petty little bitch who sits on her high horse and complains about things that no one asked her to complain about, but she just feels like doing it anyway. So that's what this video is going to be. I hope you're excited. So today I'm going to be ranking the makeup brands, beauty brands that I do not support or buy from. I'm going to be ranking them from like least worst to worst of the worst. So it's kind of like make a couple changes, you're golden, to never, no, get away, please stop, you're not good. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I did type up a disclaimer because I am very nervous to be filming this video. So nervous that this is my second time filming this video. I also filmed this yesterday, but then I rambled like a lot and I'm like, okay, no one cares about all the rambles. So yeah, here's my disclaimer. Everyone should be entitled to their own opinions, even those on makeup brands. Yes, I know there's a huge difference. There's not, but you know what I mean. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. You should be able to say what you want to say. This is me saying what I want to say. But I will point out that as well as with free speech, you are completely welcome to say whatever you want to say. But if a lot of people, or even if just some other person on the street thinks that, hey, your opinion's not cool, then they can call you out for it. Like, I'm at McDonald's saying, hey, I want a quarter pounder without cheese. The person next to me can be, oh, why not with cheese? And then it can be this huge thing. I'm just saying people are entitled to like call you out for your opinions because that's their opinion. So it's like a very back and forth thing. I'm just saying these are my opinions. If you don't agree with them, totally fine. Let me know in the comments. Why not? We can have a discussion. I love talking to people because I'm unemployed and it's cold outside and and COVID, so I'm not going anywhere. So let's have a convo, man. That's the disclaimer. Let's just get into it. Number one, as I said, this is gonna be a very petty video, and this is me having a very petty opinion influenced heavily by being chubby in middle school, very insecure, and having crippling undiagnosed social anxiety. Okay, that's this kind of video. So number one is MAC Cosmetics. So MAC has this little bit of an aura. Well, it's not even a little bit. It's a pretty heavy aura. So MAC, when you walk past their store, like when you go to the mall, I don't go to the mall. One, I hate shopping. Like online shopping for home stuff, count me in. Shopping in person for clothing, no. I've had this sweater for like 5 years. Okay, I hate shopping, hate it. So I don't know why I went into all of that, but I hate going to the mall. I hate it. But I will say MAC, even not at the mall, but mostly at the mall, when you walk past their store or go into their store, I've only been into their store once and I was itching to get out. They have this environment there that if you are not dressed to the nines and your makeup is not like my makeup right now, I'm actually very proud of it, just saying. But so okay, if you walk in there, you know, and you had you would gone to the mall to get like a Chick-fil-A milkshake with your mom and like browse a few things, so you're not in full glam, right? Who is when they go to the mall? But I feel like when you walk in there and you're not in full glam, they're like, what the f are you doing in here? What are you? Who are you? You think you're cool enough to step in this store? That's the vibe that I get from MAC. I will say I have seen a couple of YouTube videos from people that used to work at MAC, and they did say that the environment there for employees was incredibly like toxic competitive, like not just competitive, but like toxic level. And I don't know, I just feel like, you know, someone's like, well, I'm a MAC artist. Like, good for you, that's great, that's awesome. But I feel like they kind of think of themselves as a little holier than thou, which, I mean, I could say the same for me making a video like this, which is totally fine. They're totally welcome to do that, but I'm just saying, that's the vibe I get from them. I don't love it. Also, the few things, I've tried, like, their, you know, classics. I've tried one of their just, like, matte bullet lipsticks and Honey Dude, the one that everyone raves about. I got it for a wedding because it was like, oh my gosh, one, I hate lipstick, but I'm like, I'm gonna be in a wedding, I have to get this nice lipstick. And I wore it and it made me look like a cracky little mess who needed some water. And then I also tried one of their lip liners, and still, it was, their lip liners are not all they're hyped up to be. I'm just gonna go ahead and come out and say it. They are so dry and they tug on your mouth and they hurt. So that is why I don't like MAC Cosmetics. It's mostly just a me thing, but I will also say, if they're putting out that much of an aura for me to pick up on it, I think it's also kind of a little bit of a them thing. Because I don't get that nervous walking into Sephora or Ulta. And I think Ulta sells MAC. I don't get nervous walking into an Ulta. They're so nice there. MAC? Oh, nope. Nope. I don't like it. I don't like it there. Next is Mrs. Kim Kardashian West's brand. So I'm not going to talk about Kylie. I'm not going to talk about Kylie Cosmetics, and I will explain to you why as I get more into Kim Kardashian West. So Kylie Cosmetics came out with her line before KKW. First of all, the Kardashians, they are marketing just... They know what they're doing. That's all I'm going to say. They know how they're living their life. They know what's going to make them money, and kudos. That's great. Kylie saw that her lips were getting a lot of attention, which that's a whole nother story because obviously they were injections, but she was like, no, it's just how I do my lip liners. So buy my lip kits. That's effed. First of all. Okay, so I'm not even going to get into that. So anyway, so Kylie comes out with her brand and it is immediately successful. She is like, she becomes the richest Kardashian. Even with Kim being married to Kanye, she becomes the richest one, even though she's like technically a Jenner, but whatever. She like thrives because she got into the cosmetic industry when it was booming, right? Like a few years ago. And I think Kim saw that and was like, oh, I can't have my little baby sis making more than me, so let me get into this. Even though Kim's whole thing has always been, yeah, she's always on the contour thing, but her whole aesthetic has always been like, oh, I'm not wearing makeup, I'm just this beautiful. But I mean, I guess Kylie's was also like, oh, it's not, well, no, she said it wasn't injections, it was just a lip liner. So she actually gave kudos to makeup. Kim doesn't. She's just like, no, just look like this. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But anyway, so Kim, I think, just saw how much money Kylie was making and was like, oh, I gotta get a piece of that pie. I'm gonna do this too. And where I respect Kylie more than Kim, and why Kylie is not on this list, but Kim is because I think Kylie at least puts an effort in. Kim puts so little effort into her releases. I'm gonna put like a collage of all of her releases, and you tell me that these don't look the exact same, except for maybe the shades are a teensy tiny different, maybe the contrast, maybe the lightness or the darkness, but they all look exactly the same. And when you blend them on your eye or on your mouth or whatever, they're gonna look exactly the same. They're so uninspired, so boring, just not at all. The Kardashians are good because they know that they have a built-in fan base. I love their TV show. My sister and I, who have barely anything in common, especially when we were, we do now more, but like when we were teenagers and growing up, I was the nerd who stayed home. She was the pretty little popular girl. And so we had nothing in common, but we loved the Kardashians. We would sit our asses down for days and watch the Kardashians. So where I think the Kardashians are so good, they know how much hype that show gave them. They know how much reach they had with that show. And they were like, okay, well, let's capitalize off of it, because why not? Capitalistic society, if we have a built-in fan base, let's give them something else to spend their money on so we get more money. I think Kim just did it as a cash grab. I think her packaging is super cheap looking. It's very tacky looking. I think her products are uninspired. I have never once in my life, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, okay, I have never once heard someone rave about Kim Kardashian West's formula, ever. They don't rave about anything about her. Kylie, I will say, her blush gets raved about, but where I respect Kylie more, and I already said this, she puts more effort in. Her packaging typically is absolutely adorable. Obviously, she should be putting more effort into her actual formula and quality of the makeup, but at least she puts somewhat of an effort. Kim doesn't even put effort into her packaging. No, Kim, she puts her effort into the photo shoots where she gets to look hot as hell. That's where I think she puts all of her effort. Nothing into the packaging, nothing into the formula. And it's like, how much money do you freaking have, woman? Give some people a job in the pandemic where no one has a job. Give them a job. They can do it at freaking home. It's all just like Photoshop. Have them, give them a little idea, have them design it up in their computers and send it to you. It's gonna be better than what you're putting out. I honest to God promise you that it's gonna be better than what you're doing. So why not give some people the job and actually look like you're trying and not just ripping off people who love you? You know what I mean? That's where Kim just makes me angry. Just, try harder. You got money. Next is Hourglass Cosmetics. So Hourglass Cosmetics is a very, I don't want to say bougie brand because they're not designer, but they have an almost designer price tag. They're stupid expensive. I will say I own one of their bronzers, which I have owned for a few years now. It could be expired. Doesn't act like it's expired. It's absolutely beautiful. I own one of their eyebrow pencils that I got in a BoxyCharm. It's in blonde, but I don't hate it. I only use it when I can't find my other ones, like in my actual color, but I don't hate it. But Hourglass, this is where I have issues with them. So I'm allowed to enjoy Hourglass products. They're incredibly expensive, but I can enjoy them because I can purchase them because I am a white woman. And yeah, we're gonna get into this, okay? Hourglass does not make cosmetics for women of color, especially of deep color. I will go into their website and just scroll through their swatches and you will see how many white shades there are compared to dark shades. And I'm not saying if it's because they're lazy. I'm not saying if it's because they think that women of color cannot afford their products, which that would be disgusting. But a lot of well, it's always been an issue. And I do want to initially point this out. So the two people that I saw point this out were white women.
Hey guys, so I should have said light-skinned women here. Christine from Timtalia is actually of Asian heritage. I did not know that while filming this, so my apologies.
And I don't want this to be like a white savior sort of thing. It could be because I am just not following enough women of color on my Twitter. That is my problem. I need to fix that, obviously. But I just want to say, so I did notice it was the head editor for Timtalia, which is a makeup blog that is just like, I mean, she's like Santa Claus with her little elves. They have swatches, reviews, in-depth, all this stuff of any new product, any product you can think of, it's on her website. So she mentioned it, as well as Samantha Ravindal, who is one of my honestly like favorite all-time YouTubers. They came out after there was this, it was a face trio. It was a cream bronzer, blush, and highlight. It was like the Illume trio. Okay, so they had this trio. It was like an award-winning product. Everyone raved about it who tried it. So they came out with this trio and then they took it off the shelves to reformulate. I don't know if they said exactly why they were reformulating, but a lot of people were hoping that it was to make the shade range more inclusive. There was one trio and it only favored light-skinned people, so they re-release it and people are excited. And then they realize they only reformulated it to make it vegan, which that's cool, but it was like they were kind of picking and choosing to make vegans happy more than like anyone darker than peach, basically. I don't know, it comes off as incredibly like racist to me and a lot of people. And so that's why a lot of people recently have been taking them off of their PR lists, meaning that influencers are like actively saying, no, I don't want the free product that you're gonna send me. I don't want this $50 bronzer that I'm never gonna have to pay for, because you know what, you're being kind of shitty. Okay, so that's my gripe with Hourglass. I do think they're overpriced. I like their product, but I can like their product because they make product for me, because I am a white woman. I'm cheap, but I'm a white woman. So there's that. Okay, so next we have Jaclyn Cosmetics. I am not going to get super into this. There's so many freaking videos that you can watch on Jaclyn Hill and her abomination of a first makeup launch, and that's not what made me so mad. Okay, so I'll give you like the little rundown. So Jaclyn Hill, it was like the OG makeup influencer. She wasn't the first one, but she's the one when you think of makeup YouTube, besides like Jeffree Star. We'll get into him later, trust me. She's the one you think of because she's like a freaking multi-millionaire, but she's made all of her money off of YouTube collaborations, stuff like that. She was one of the OG beauty YouTubers. She's absolutely beautiful, incredibly talented. She used to work at MAC, funny enough. But anyway, so she, as do a lot of the OG makeup YouTubers, come out with their own beauty line. So that's what she did. Her first launch was a set of nude lipsticks, which I thought was a really good concept. Everyone wants the perfect nude lipstick. It was like 30 something. It was a frick ton of nude lipsticks. Well, people started receiving their lipsticks and they had plastic in them, metal shards in them, cotton fibers in them. Raw Beauty Christie, she got her PR one, which when people send out PR, you know, that's the cream of the crop product, like the real good batch, and hers had shit in it. So that's when you know. But it was just a mess, and she never came out and apologized. She fully blamed the lab for everything, like the lab that she used for the lipstick. She blamed them. She didn't really say anything else. That's where I don't trust her. I know she had another launch. It was like a bunch of highlighters and they were raved about. So I think that's great. But she never came out and like actually apologized or took the blame for that initial lipstick launch, and that's what just rubs me so the wrong way about her. I remember, because I was such a fan of hers, like I watched all her videos. Like I thought she is so good. Like she's so good at makeup. She's such a good saleswoman. Her personality, her energy just like reels you in. I remember watching the initial release of her lipsticks, and like this was her first brand launch. It was also like the announcement of her brand, and she said she wanted to be like the CEO, just like the hot one, like Sex and the City vibes, like kicking your heels up on a desk, just like boss bitch. And I'm like, okay, great. Oh my God, that's so good. That's so respectful. But I feel like she doesn't really want to do the things that it takes to get her there, like the hard working things. I think she just wants to kind of throw her money at it and just kind of be done and then go sit in her office. I don't think she wants to actually do the hard work, make the hard decisions, anything like that. I don't want to support a brand that they're more caught up in the image of being a brand owner and the kickbacks of it, or like the cool parts, like the money. And I think she tries too hard to have like this boss ass bitch little aesthetic, but doesn't actually want to put in the hard work to achieve that, and that's where I have the issue.
Hey guys, it's me again. Sorry, I really hope this is the last time, but also I didn't really go in depth like how insane her lipsticks were, like how bad things could have been. She never recalled them, and people were literally finding metal shards and plastic and what could have been mold in their lipsticks. Like someone could have really been hurt, and she still wouldn't recall them because her ego was just too precious. So
don't be lazy. You have how much of a fan base? How lucky are you? Don't be lazy. That's it. Next, because we just talked about Jaclyn, we're going to talk about Morphe Cosmetics. So Morphe Cosmetics is actually a very inexpensive makeup brand. They kind of took over the world a few years ago, and I think a lot of that had to do with Jaclyn Hill. And that's because Morphe Cosmetics was the kind of first brand, or at least the first one like really kind of called out for pushing affiliate links but not disclosing them. So affiliate links, if you don't know, I have them. I have Amazon affiliate because anyone with an Amazon account can get affiliates. But I put in every single one of my description boxes when I have Amazon affiliate links, hey, the Amazon links, those are affiliate. That means when you click on it that I get a small kickback of whatever you purchase. Thank you so much, or if you purchase that product. So thank you so much. You don't have to use it, whatever. That's just what it is. Well, that hasn't always been the law. Like for a few years ago, like you could have just like said, hey, like check out this awesome little brand. Like I think they're so cool. And you didn't have to tell people that like every time someone clicked on that link that you put there, that you were going to make money off of it. And so Morphe was kind of the first brand to really like milk the cow on this. That's a weird terminology, but they were the first brand to be like, hey, you want to see how much money you can make? Every YouTuber, the old school ones had my 10% off with Morphe code. So the customer would get 10% off, and then the YouTuber would get like a shit ton of money, basically just off the clicks, off the commission. And Morphe thrived in that. That's where they really became really good. But they also pushed their influencers not to really say that they were like affiliate links. They just kind of, you know, they're just like, hey, just promote us and we'll give you some money. Cool, you know. And I don't know if they're the exact brand that's why that's illegal now, that you cannot, at least in the US. And I think in some countries it's still legal, but now you have to say, hey, this is an affiliate link. I'm going to make money off of this. And if you don't do that and people catch you, it's bad. But a lot of people don't get caught or just don't get called out. So those are people you probably shouldn't be supporting. But anyway, Morphe was kind of one of those brands that started that and kind of pushed their influencers not to disclose. And that's just super shady. Also, their products are not great. I have owned 2 of their eyeshadow palettes. One was like the old school collab with Kathleen Lights. I didn't hate that one. But then I got one of their newer ones in my BoxyCharm, and it wasn't incredible. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. I also have some of their eyeshadow brushes, and I do think their blending capability is so good, but oh my god, they are the scratchiest, sheddiest brushes I have ever tried in my life. I swear, when I use one of those brushes, I swear to god, like to you, I will have like 3 or 4 little hairs just on my face from using that brush. Quality, not great. And I will say they did do a eyeshadow collaboration with Jaclyn Hill a few years ago, and Jen Loves Reviews, I will link the video in the description. Basically, she had like the original one, like, you know, from like the first launch when it first came out, and then her relatives got it like a couple years later, and the relative was like, this is not good, like at all. And so Jen Loves Reviews took that palette from her relative and was like, let me see. And then she realized that Morphe actually switched the formula to non-vegan, and just, I think, made it cheaper to make, like made it not as good. Like the formula obviously changed. The swatches were completely different. Everything was different. And this one had carmine in it, which is like for the pigmentation. Carmine is a crushed beetle. That's how you get that pigment. And it included that, but then they were still trying to say that like it was the same formula as the original Jaclyn Hill palette, but that one was vegan, but this one's not. And it was actually the same because they changed the original formulation to make it non-vegan, but they just didn't tell anybody. Does that make sense? I feel like I just got off into a little tangent and just didn't really explain that well, but that's what they did. Super shady, super effed up, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, so I don't support Morphe. Even a little bit. Nah. Okay. Nikita Dragon. Nikita Dragon is she likes to profit off of being a beauty YouTuber. Again, she has a beauty brand called Dragon Beauty. That's the brand I'm going to be talking about. But I don't think, she tries so hard to like come off as a beauty influencer, but she's not. She is relevant because she is controversial, and she stays controversial. She parties during a pandemic. Okay, so I know since COVID came out, I say that because came out, that's a stupid way to say it, but since COVID came to be a thing in March of last year, 2020, there have been a few select people who always go to parties in LA that always get called out for being a nasty person, because LA is a hotbed of COVID. All their hospitals are like shut down. I mean, it's like one of the worst places to be in this pandemic, but you still have these freaking rich assholes like her, James Charles, the D'Amelio sisters, all the like little boys in the hype house from TikTok or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I'm almost 28 years old, but all the little frat boy wannabes from TikTok, they're always throwing parties, and then all these beauty influencers to say Tana Mojo. Oh my God, Tana Mojo. If she had a beauty brand, she would be on this list. You bet your ass. But anyway, so all these people are going to these parties, right? And they're like, oh, pandemic, we never heard of her. Rona, who's that? She sounds cute. That's them, okay? And so, and then they like laugh it off when they get called out about it, first of all. Like, I know Tana Mojo and her friend have a video of their, like, of them partying without, because none of them wear masks. That's like another huge deal that I should have mentioned. They don't wear masks. But like, Tana Mojo and her friend are in a video like at a party maskless, being like, we don't fucking care. We don't care. Call us out. We don't care. Like, first of all, so that's the kind of person she is. But she tries to stay relevant solely through controversy and being a troll. I feel like she is a classier version of Trisha Paytas, no lie. I'm not going to get into that even a little bit, but go down that rabbit hole on YouTube. Totally. I mean, it's disgusting, but it's interesting. But she doesn't try, really. She just kind of wants to be like that bitch. You know, she does the whole blackfishing thing where she tries to appear as a different race just for the clout of it. And then when people clap back at her, she tries to joke it off. Like on Twitter one day, she's like, what race do I want to be today? So that kind of stuff. And then like she did this one thing where she said she graduated first in her class in college or high school or something. And then she went on Philip DeFranco's podcast, who, if you don't know who he is, first of all, one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. He's like my nightly news. I watch him every single day. But she went on his podcast and basically was like, oh, well, I just meant because of my last name. Like, I was the first one on stage. She didn't graduate first in her class. She was just the first one on fucking stage. So it's just that kind of stuff. She just posts stupid shit to get attention. Her makeup line is very her-centric. I feel like the releases make absolutely no sense. She's had like some color correctors. Her eyeshadow palettes are so uninspired looking. She had this face palette with like this little bubble looking thing of her face. Like, I'll put all that up here. She tries too hard to be problematic. And so it's just like, just don't be problematic in the first place. And like, try to give a shit about the community that you're trying to profit off of. Like, you're saying you want to be a beauty influencer so that you can make money off of the beauty community via your brand, but you don't want to actually put in the work to be a beauty YouTuber. You just want to stir up some drama here on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. So that's Nikita Dragon. She's disgusting. I don't like her. Okay, next is Too Faced Cosmetics, which is like mainstream brand. First of all, I think they rely too heavily on their packaging. Their formulas aren't that great. I owned one thing from them, and it was their chocolate bar palette from forever ago. I did love it. It smelled great, lasted a great time. It was great. But anyway, Too Faced, again, it has to do with the owners. So one, okay, I don't even really like their stuff. Like, their cult favorites, like the Better Than Sex mascara, the Born This Way foundation and concealer, I didn't try the concealer, but I did try the foundation, didn't love. Tried the mascara, didn't love. I've honestly never, besides that one initial eyeshadow palette from forever ago, I have never really enjoyed anything from that brand. But their owner, Jared Blandino, is kind of he's a piece of shit. Like, he's not cool. And his sister is even worse. So I'm going to give you like a quick little rundown of what they did. First of all, Jared, the owner, or I think he's like a co-owner. But he posted a picture from his birthday, and his cake said like Rich Lives Matter. It was like basically like a joke of the Black Lives Matter movement. So that's disgusting, first of all. Then their main reason like why I don't support them is because of Nikki Tutorials and their relationship with her. So Nikki Tutorials is one of the main beauty YouTubers, not even like in the past, In the past, yes, but also still today. Like Jaclyn Hill, she was a main one, but now she only posts like one video a month. Nikki still keeps up to date with her channel, still posts regularly. So incredibly talented, so incredibly beautiful, charismatic, and oh, she's just so good. So back in 2016, she went viral for her Power of Makeup video where she did one side of her face like full glam and then just left the other side blank, and you could really see how different she looked, and it was such a cool concept. So Too Faced reached out to her to do a collaboration, a eyeshadow palette collaboration, and Nikki was like, hell yeah, come on. So they came out with theirs. She did her like release video and everything, the swatches, everything looked so beautiful. She was so excited. It was a cute little palette, like it was so great. And then people started receiving theirs, like people on YouTube, and they started doing their little swatches and were like, this is not, what is this? This doesn't look like what she did in her video. This isn't great. And then normal consumers, just like everyday people, started receiving their palettes and started leaving like 1-2 star reviews because the formulation was so terrible. I don't think Nikki ever came out and said anything, but it was like kind of a flop of a palette. It made a bunch of money, like initially, obviously, because it had her name on it, but it was kind of a flop of a palette. Well, in 2019, Jeffree Star, in his documentary, kind of let it spill that Nikki Tutorials was only paid a flat fee of $50,000 for her collaboration. I know that seems like a lot of money, and that's because it is, but that means even if it sold like 5 million copies or whatever, she was not going to make a penny off of any of those sales. She got that one flat fee. And do you want to know how much money Too Faced made off that collab? It was in upwards of $10 million. Okay, that is 5%. She made 5% of that palette. And then it comes out that because I said her swatches compared to everyone else's that they received, then it starts getting thrown around and alleged, and she even came out later on Twitter and said she thinks it too, that they gave her a palette that was better quality than what they actually sent out to people. So she risked her name, her reputation, everything for $50,000, which again, a lot of money, but still, no. Brands don't need to be doing that shit. That's messed up. They literally, and then when she called him out and she was like, hey, like, why are all these people saying it's so terrible? Like, mine was so good. They're like, oh, they must be lying. Just, you know, like, get views or whatever. And then, that's not even the worst part. Okay, that's terrible. That's not even the worst part. So then, beginning of 2020, Nikki came out as a transgender woman. It was this incredibly powerful video. I cried. Yes, I'm a Pisces and I cry like a bitch at a lot of things, but I cried at this video. It was so empowering. She went on Ellen DeGeneres. It was like such a huge moment. Like, it was such a cool thing. That was after all the palette stuff had come out. So I'm guessing the co-owner, Jared Blandino, his sister, who goes by Danny California on Instagram, was a little bitter that she was getting all this attention. So she posts as her Instagram bio, transgender, huh? Guess that's not the only thing she's been lying about, or she's lying about. I'll put the Instagram right here. So uncalled for, so transphobic, so rude. Like, so then, you know, people see this and Too Faced starts rightly getting canceled on Twitter. So then Jared Blandino, the owner, the brother of that sister, of the bitch, he goes and he says that she's been terminated from the company, whatever. Doesn't say if she's still on the board, if she's still a stockholder, if she's still making profit, but just says she's been fired as her current role. So then she changes her Instagram bio to, let's be clear, I love trans people and dislike anyone who lies to hurt others, period. But anyway, if you came from a lying DC, then who cares? And by DC, I'm pretty sure she means Drama Channel, because like, I think it was either Here for the, I think it was Here for the Tea. It could have been her or like T-Spell, but they're kind of the ones who like called her out and leaked that Instagram stuff. But it's like, why are you mad at a Drama Channel for leaking what you changed your Instagram bio to be? make that make sense. But anyway, she's just kind of she's a piece of shit like her brother, okay? They're just not cool people. Don't like them, don't support the brand. I think they're incredibly problematic and they just care about their money, and yeah, no. Number 1 on my list is Mr. Jeffree Star. And I don't know why I say that so energetically. Jeffree Star is a shit human. He really is, man. He's just not a cool cat. He rose to fame on MySpace like forever ago. He was a musician at one point, and he started a makeup brand, and he's got a YouTube channel, a beauty YouTube channel. That's his claim to fame. His main claim to fame is that he's problematic, and he's been caught on camera multiple times yelling racial slurs at people, like hard R racial slurs at people. There was a like glorified photo of him himself that went around online. What else? Oh, he was friends with the, there was that. His whole involvement in the Bi Sister scandal, where basically he realized that James Charles, who is another male in makeup on YouTube, was thriving and about to overtake his subscriber number. So he co-conspired with 2 other YouTubers to basically take him down, and lied to one, Tati, who made the video, lied to her saying that he was a and that he had a voicemail of one of James Charles's victims, and that if she didn't say something, then she's just basically a terrible person. So Tati released her video. It came out that there were no victims. Like, Tati was expecting all these victims to come forward. No one did. And then, anyway, Jeffree Star is still, like, throwing this little voicemail around saying, oh, but you don't know. I have it. I have someone saying that he's a victim, or I don't know if it's a he or she, because he doesn't say anything about the victim, which he shouldn't. That's, like, their story to tell. But I will say, he is throwing it around like it's just, like, this little, look what I got. Look what I got for Christmas. You know what I mean? So, and no one knows if it's true. Like, no one knows if it's true. So he's doing that. And then also he did like an apology video. I mean, he's done multiple apology videos, okay? He's a thriving racist and just gross person. And he's the reason I truly believe that the beauty community has such like a toxic name to it, is because of him. But anyway, okay, so he did like, he's done multiple apology videos, but in his last one, that's the one that really freaking got me, because I did watch it. I didn't watch his other 2. I saw them in videos, like clips of it, but this one I did sit down and watch. And he doesn't apologize. He's sitting in his like gold little Versace mansion because he's loaded money-wise. Oh my god, he's got like 6 little Pomeranian dogs. Do you know, okay, you've seen Bridgerton, you know the Queen of England, you know her little aesthetic, but she's boss. He's just he's not cool, but he's got like 6 little Pomeranians, and he's just sitting there in like gold on his couch, and he says, you know, I'm not gonna, this isn't a direct quote, but he's basically like, look, we have so many other things to be concerned about in this world. George Floyd still has no justice. Breonna Taylor still has no justice. And while that is actually, I mean, that is incredibly true, he's deflecting. He's being like, why are y'all so mad at me when you could be mad at like all this other bullshit that's going on? And that's what really pissed everyone off. And it's because it's like the whole thing of like, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry you broke your foot today, but my grandma died last month, so I don't think you can even know what it's like to be in pain. And it's like, no, bitch, we can still both be in pain. I'm sorry you lost your grandma. That's terrible. But my foot's broken. That's terrible too. Like, things can coexist and be terrible. So instead of just like trying to deflect something, when you a racist, obviously, I mean, yeah, maybe you should be the one calling it out, but also it's a little showing that he's using that to also probably combat his like little, I don't know, like the name that he gets or what he gets called. So he's using that as also like a little bit of a, hey, look what I'm doing. I'm calling out these black people that died from the cops. So obviously I'm not a racist. No, you still are. Because now you're just using it as an excuse for people not to call you out on your shit. Because it's not actually something you care about. It's just an excuse to you. But that's cool. I mean, it's not, obviously. But you know what I mean. So, anyway, that's Jeffree Star. So he is the worst of the worst. I don't care if it comes out that he was an angel sent from heaven to test every beauty YouTuber or any beauty influencer's patience. I don't care. I don't care. No, never. He's not nice. So anyway, that's the end of this video. I know it was kind of all over the place. I will say at the end there, I did kind of, you know, whine. Because what is bitching if you're not doing it, you know, without wine? And I miss bitching with my best friend because of COVID. So there's that. But yeah, so that's the end of this video. Again, I don't want to like offend anyone. If I offended like Jeffree Star, Nikita Dragon, any of like the really gross people, I'm not sorry. But again, I will say, I know a lot of people can separate like beauty product from brand owner. So I am just not one of those people. I'm a millennial. I'm a snowflake, okay? I just care a lot. So yeah, anyway, please don't be offended. And if you are and you want to say something, just do it respectfully and we can have a combo in the comments. It'd give me really a good engagement, so that'd be dope. Like, come on, let's go, let's talk. Let's just talk. Keep it respectful. Again, you know, but let's talk. Let's do whatever. So, yeah, again, everyone has their own right to their own opinion, but people with counter opinions also have a right to their opinion. That's why I'm saying, hey, if you don't like mine, leave in the comments. That's cool. Just be respectful. As long as people are respectful of other people, then I think the world can go round. That's all I'm saying. So if you are new to my channel, thank you so much. It's like really cool of you to stop by. Thanks. My name is CJ and I try to post like at least once a week, but I've been getting pretty good at doing at least twice a week, if not once every, I don't know. I don't really have a schedule, but I try to really stay on top of it. So there's that. Yeah, so please like and subscribe if you want to. That'd be really cool. Also, leave me a comment. Again, that'd be really cool. And I will see you in my next video. Everything that I am wearing on my face right now will be in the description box below. I am actually incredibly proud of this look that I came up with. So, yeah. There's that. See you next time.